What is going on, guys? This is Miasin, and this is my updated Kashtira deck. Well, pure Kashtira, actually. So, it's not Kashtira TEARLAMENTS. It's not a combo deck whatsoever. It's more of a mid-range deck. It's not a control deck either. It's, let's just say it's the more aggressive version of Flunderies, if it could actually special summon, and kind of like a better Sword Soul. So, if you don't like losing too many brain cells, trying to, like, you know, understand every single intricacy of a combo deck like TEARLAMENTS Ishizu or like TEARLAMENTS Kashtira, which might be too complicated for the average human, and I can understand that, this is probably the deck for you. So today, you already know it, I will be explaining this deck profile in details, all my ratios, all my cards, all my explanations. But before this video starts, my man, friendly reminder to smash the like and subscribe button. I appreciate you guys so much, and now let's get right into it. So first things first, I'm maxing out on 3 of every single Kashtira monster that actually does something. The only one that I'm not playing is Ogre. This card kind of sucks. Like, even its effect when, like, your opponent uses a monster effect is ass. Like, you look at their top 5 cards from the top of the deck, and then you banish one face down. And then you place the rest on the top of the deck in any order. Oh no, sorry, in the same order. It's even worse. This is horrible. And it also searches a trap card, like, bruv. I'm only playing one, and I'm not even trying to draw it. So imagine, like, trying to search a card that you don't even want in your hand in the first place. It's not the way of the Shinobi, so I'm only playing triple Unicorn, triple Fenrir, and triple Riseheart. So ironically, Fenrir is the better one to play like generically as a staple, but in this deck, Unicorn is actually the better card. It's the one card starter. You search the Papillas, and then you summon Fenrir, and then you search this, and then you can do some things and some other things. And that would usually be like double Kashtiras with Shangri-La and the Riseheart, and your opponent loses a bunch of zone, which is very, very fun. But yeah, like I said, Unicorn searches a spell card and makes your opponent lose a card from the extra deck whenever they use a monster effect or when you declare an effect. Declare an attack, Jesus, imagine if it's just like, you declare an effect, do that, not once per turn. Yeah, this deck would have been like tier negative infinite billion, but, and also banned before we even get it. Fenrir searches a monster, and also whenever your opponent activates a monster effect, well, on the resolution, that's how they work. You target one face-up card your opponent controls and then banish it face down. And yeah, this also searches a monster. I'll be said that like 10 billion times. And finally, the Riseheart. If you control a Kashtira monster, you can special summon it from the hand, but you're locked under Xyz for the rest of the turn, which matters a little bit, but not too much. And also, once per turn, you can, well, the turn it was normal or special summoned, I believe. You can banish a Kashtira card from your deck, and then banish the top 3 cards of your opponent's face down, which is really relevant because it will trigger the Shangri-La the first time, and you're typically trying to banish the Big Bang so that you can revive back one of the materials underneath the Shangri-La, which allows you to extend even more and potentially go into a Diablosis. Not only are you losing extra cards, but you're also losing extra zones, which is, oh my god, so bullshit, man. This shouldn't be a mechanic. Anyways, the other monster that I'm playing is a normal summon, Psy Beast. When this card is normal summon, you can remove from play one psychic type monster from your deck. This card's level becomes the level of that monster. Now, unfortunately, this is only on normal summon, not on normal or special, and that's the reason why emergency teleport doesn't make any sense with this deck, because even if you can emergency teleport into this card, you won't get its effect. So that is a little unfortunate. Otherwise, I would actually consider it. It would actually be really, really good, but it is what it is, not the end of the world. And also, if you have this and your opponent gives you like an Ibli or something, whatever, you can link off the Ibli or not even, and then normal summon this, whatever, and then link off for like a Donner, and then destroy your Donner as well as like another monster upon controls, and then you no longer have any monsters on the field so that you can start summoning your Kashtira monsters just like that. And you don't really need your normal summon for the Kashtira combo anyways. So like one Unicorn gets you there without normal summoning anything, so this is really just like free real estate. Not only does this card becomes level 7, which is already very good, but on top of that, banishing a psychic monster is extremely good because you can revive it back right away with the birth, and that's like way better than any Monster Reborn card like ever. It's just like an unfair card. And finally, for the hand traps, triple Shifter, triple Ash, and triple Imperm. Ash is just like generically good, so why not? And then Imperm you can draw for turn, it's just always a good card. And Shifter is absolute insanity against like TEARLAMENTS, and just about any deck that utilizes the graveyard, even like Naturia or whatever, like a bunch of decks I can think of just lose really hard to Shifter. Obviously, in the mirror match, you have to side this out because it's not going to be good. So I might even see a world in which people won't main deck this card, not because it's like a bad card, but because they might be scared of the mirror match, so they don't really want to dead draw a card that really does nothing. But in a world where TEARLAMENTS Kashtira is the scariest deck, you might still want to like respect that deck and main deck Shifter still. By the way, I don't really like Effect Veiler and whatever else that would send itself to the grave. It actually does conflict with Shifter, so I want to see Ash and Imperm because of the fact that you can still use them under Shifter is definitely much better. Ha, that rhymed. Anyways, I'm playing a few cards that actually allow me to steal my opponent's monsters. And that's really good, like going second against boards. So Change of Heart, Mind Control, Triple Tactic Talents, and also Tasking allows me to get into Talents or any of these cards. So even though they're one-ofs, they're not random, unsearchable, sacky one-ofs. I can actually search them with Tasking, which I can maybe excavate with Prosperity or draw with Talents. It really, like, it's much easier than you think to have access to these cards when I have to and, like, when I really want to. So, yeah, and if you want to, you can play also more copies of Triple Tactic Tasking. It's a great card in case you get a hand trapped on turn 1. You can access just about any normal spell or normal trap card. So, like, post-game 1, you can access, like, D-Barrier if you get a hand trapped. That's really just, like, unfair. Imagine having, like, your full combo on top of having, like, a D-Barrier, like, different dimension ground or something that makes your opponent lose even more. Not that it would be able to, like, you know, break your board or something, but maybe, like, a card that would protect you from, like, their blowouts. That might make the most sense. Like, you don't want to lose to, like, certain kind of cards. Like I said, this deck really loses hard to, like, Book of Eclipse, you know, Swords of Concealing Light, Sphere Mode potentially, because your Shangri-La only locks zones while it's on the field. So even if you lock like 5 zones, you can still get Sphere Moded and lose. And also Evenly is a big one against this deck. It's pretty rough because you're not really making Omni Negates, you're just making like big interruptions that are very annoying, as well as like Floodgates and stuff. But nothing to negate like big blowout spells and traps. You do have built-in protection to Regeki though, because Shangri-La can protect itself from being destroyed by battle by card effect simply by detaching 1 material from it. So really not too bad. But yeah, anyways, so that's it for these cards. And then Triple Papillas, of course. 1 Terraforming, which can search the Parezos. Again, you can get your engine started even if you brick whenever your opponent uses a monster effect, because you can go Tasking into Terraforming and then Terraforming into Parezos, search Unicorn, and then play from there. So really nasty card. And also, you can pop a card on the field whenever you use the effect of Shangri-La. So that's really freaking disgusting because it's quite easy to trigger, and you can also do it on your opponent's turn whenever you go like Rise Hard, banish a card, and then you go Shangri-La, lock a zone, and then Parezos, pop a card. Even more interruptions that you probably didn't even need because this deck is already good as it is. And yeah, like I said, the Birth, so you can normal summon level 7 monsters without tributing, which is not super relevant, but the really relevant thing is, during your main phase, you can special summon one of your non-Xyz Kashtira monsters that is in your banished or your graveyard. And also, whenever your opponent activates a spell card, and you control a Kashtira, of course, you can banish 3 cards from your opponent's graveyard face down. It's so good. However, it does banish exactly 3 cards in your opponent's graveyard, not up to 3. So your opponent can randomly play around this card by having like 2 cards in the grave, which is funny, but whatever. And then obviously Pot of Prosperity, Imperm, as well as the Big Bang, which again you're not trying to draw, but only banish with the effect of Rise Heart in order to summon back one of the monsters that is an Xyz material of Shangri-La. So now for the extra deck, I'm playing 1 Zeus, of course, double Rise Heart, 1 Diablosis so that you can combo off with your Shangri-La, and also make your opponent lose like specific one-ofs that are very important. 1 Draco Sack, this card is just like absolutely nasty. You can summon, you know, double tokens, which allow you to like extend into Link plays and stuff like that. You can make like Link Spider into Asa, revive back your opponent's like Fenrir, and then make like a BLS Link or Access Code, whatever you want. So this card's really cool. It's nice to have like another deck that can spam out rank 7s just like Dragon Ruler back in the days. But back in the days, Draco Sack and Big Eye were unfair, and now they're actually like the worst Xyz in this extra deck, which is absolutely hilarious when you think about it. Man, the power creep in Yu-Gi-Oh! Is ridiculous. Anyways, double Shangri-La, and then for the Link's access code, why not, right? You want like an option to out like big towers, and it's not that hard to summon. The only thing that is annoying is like the Xyz condition lock of Papillas and Rise Heart. So as long as you're not really trying to go into these effects, then you should be able to Link summon, no problem. And then, yeah, BLS Link, Win, the Wind Charmer, because you can make it with Unicorn, as well as Awesome Donner, because you want to out, like, Mushroom Man and Ibli, I know, unironically. And then Link Spider for the Draco Sack token, so that you can have, like, an Earth for Asa. And finally, Link Grebo, so that you can link off the Ibli. And the idea section is completely irrelevant, so I'm just gonna go, like, real quick. So, Ogre, another Zeus for no reason. Red Ice Filler, Metal Dragon, I guess sometimes, but not all the time. It's so... you can live without it, who cares? Dark Ruler, Cosmic, Call by the Grave, Twin, Set Rotation if you want to play multiple field spells. D-Fisher, it's an overkill though. Necro Valley, not really because you're already playing Parezos, but you can if you want to. I do think D-Fisher is just a better card at this point. And then Preparation kind of sucks. Macrocosmos, which is again is redundant. Like, you already have a built-in Macrocosmos. Like, why would you want to play like more cards that do the exact same thing, that don't really add to your combo? And then Anti-Spell, which I guess you can argue is nice because at least it protects you from Swords of Concealing Light, but not against Book of Eclipse. But Ash protects you from Book of Eclipse, so that's the reason why you absolutely have to play this card. Do not sleep on Ash in this deck at the very least. But that's pretty much it for this deck profile. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys very, very soon. Peace.